Morning, cuties. So, I am here with the Indian Express newspaper of 28 February 2026. Okay, so for daily update of this session or for daily update of newspaper, please like, share, and subscribe our channel. Okay, so let's begin and let's read all the important news and contest of any exam. Okay, so let's read all the important news sections. First news is about the China. This slide is mainly about the world. Okay, so inside it, the first para which tells about China legislature sacks 19 members. 9 of them are military officers. Pakistan PM Shahbaz Sharif to visit Moscow next week. Russia, China urged Pakistan, Afghanistan to end conflict. China urges citizens in Iran to evacuate. US advises embassy staff in Israel to leave immediately. Trump Mamdani meet again, discuss housing ICE action. Country will hold first election since Gen Z protest on March 5. Three rivals in race to become next PM. About the AI, where cannot accede to Pentagon's request in AI safeguard dispute set by Anthropic, CEO of Anthropic, Dario Amodei. The latest New Zealander to move to Australia is former PM. Why these pages are in haphazard way? Like, first of all, we have to read the first page, and after that, these pages are coming line by line. But in today's PDF of this newspaper, every pages are in haphazard way. Okay, so that's why firstly we read about the world, then I think then explanation, and after that the front page will came. Okay, where the news of it's just a summary news of the whole newspaper is given in the first page. Okay, so before going to that page, because we have the explanation page, so first of all we are reading whatever the page we are that are coming. Let's read all the pages detail by detail. Okay, so this is about the explanation where it's about the liquor policy case, choreographed exercise, how CBI's case fell apart. So, the court pulled up the agency on several counts from the nature of evidence and its presentation to how it stirred the investigation. About geopolitics, so inside Taliban terror behind Pakistan's call of open war on Afghanistan. Before judiciary corruption, the other NCRT revision that sparked controversy. Okay, we already know about the controversy of class 8 book. There is a topic of judiciary corruption. Okay, and that create controversy and debate among the youths. Okay, and after that the new news came about the NCRT. Okay, and inside it, I think the new book which is going to be banned, like the class 8 NCRT book, we already know that the printing of this book is, I think, stopped for certain period due to inappropriate textual material and error of judgment, like the cases of Supreme Court and all the important things, like what is happening in the economy or in India. Okay, everything is written in that book of class 8. NCRT. And I think the ruling parties or ruling government don't like it that everything is revealed among the youths, among the millennials who are going to read the books. Okay, because it create a lot of controversy among the young youths. Like there was one line that is written on that book I read, and the line is that there are 8 lakh, or I think 47 lakh or cases which is pending in approx 47 lakh pending in Supreme Court. Like, these cases are not completed, these cases are just pending, and and after that, in each year new cases are just gathering and collecting. Like, no laws are doing their duty. Justice delayed is justice denied. This is the line on, this is the also written here there. Okay, and I think the ruling government don't like these type of things about the um, this level of awareness among the youths. That's why they ban this, they are trying to ban this book. Okay, so this is the first page, and after all this, agency prop a choreographed exercise to suit preconceived narrative trial court judge. Slamming CBI. Court throws out its liquor case discharge Kejriwal, Sisodia, 21 others. AAP leader Kejriwal breakdown after trial court's verdict in New Delhi. No overarching plot or criminal intent in policy framing. Court CBI move High Court. If foundation crumbles, superstructure must fall. Collapse of CBI case a big blow to Enforcement Directorate probe. Open war among Pakistan and Taliban, Afghanistan. CBI in the dock. Court calls out abuse, says hold officer to account. As Kejriwal wept, Shishodia held him tight, joy and relief as cloud lift after months. So this is the second page where you get detailed explanation of the first page, whatever the news we read in the for this page. This is the first page. Whatever the news we read in this page. So if you want any detailed explanation, I means any news detailed explanation, then everything is written in this. Okay, so please read it. About the city, I'm going to skip this page because this is not that much relevant. Politics page is also not much relevant. Jan to Kejriwal, aggregate jail time of AAP's top 5 leader 82 month. Mainly about the news of AAP, All India Party, sorry, Aam Aadmi Party. Okay, so what's about the nation? What is happening inside the nation? So IF showcases combat prowess at exercise Vayu Shakti in Pokhran. Okay, tell me one thing. Is that tell me about INS Vikrant. I read somewhere that in yesterday's news there is a there is a exercise which is about Milan, exercise Milan, which is concluded at Visakhapatnam as INS Vikrant. This is the news. Okay, so tell me something about INS Vikrant, like where it means INS Vikrant, who manufactured it, Okay, these type of things. Tell me anything about like two or three lines. Moving from this, NCRT retrieved 31 of 38 sold copies of Class 8 Social Science textbook. Hmm. Now we already read now that it stopped sale of Class 8 Social Science book and started the process to retrieve its copies. Like NCRT sold 38 books and sources of education minister said, but they sold 38 books copies, but they received 31 back. Means 8 are in the environment or in the hand of public. Okay, so CGI said that taking serious exception to the section and saying that will not allow anyone to defame the institution. Okay, so Supreme Court imposed a completely blanket ban of Class 8 NCRT textbook, and the principal of every school where a book has reached will be personally responsible to effectuate immediately seize and sealing of all copies of the book in their premises and submit a compliance report. Okay. So, advisory issued by NCRT Secretary Himanshu Gupta on Friday asked those who purchased the book to return it immediately. Okay. So the main line that the CGI said that they will not allow as an Indian that anyone can defame the institutions. Then why are you capturing the cases, that much amount of cases pending? What's the motto inside it? Is it not wrong? Whatever. Supreme Court judge economic regulation by state have profound effect on editorial independence. Supreme Court grant bail to dog in Pune Porsche case. Telangana officer has secured over 590 surrender in last 2 years. Meet B. Sumathi, the intelligence officer behind Maoist leader Devizu's surrender. From bomb maker to assembly guest, 120 ex-Maoist steps into Temple of Democracy in Chhattisgarh. Canada's Carney begins India visit, uranium to AI on table. Killing of two policemen at Gurdaspur outpost, suspect killed in encounter had fired at cops on February 22, accused. India set to grow new batch of 8 cheetah from Botswana today. Karnataka government gives nod to Supreme Court internal quota bill. So this is the editorial page. So what's inside it? The worldly wise. It is better that 10 guilty person escape that than that one innocent suffer. William Blackstone. So let's read the article. Okay. So article is by the author Pratap Bhanu Mehta. Okay. So what's inside it? In the name of realism, power becomes truth. Hmm. Whatever the thing that you are seeing in the environment or in your surrounding, what it shows. If you have power, then if you are culprit, but you can become innocent. Okay. So from this line, the worldly wise of the day also it matched that it is better than that 10 guilty person escape. 10 लोगों को भागना 10 को भागना, जो लोग दोषी है उनका भागना ज्यादा बेटर है, क्योंकि अगर उन दोषी में से एक भी इनोसेंट अगर रह गया और वो सफर कर रहा है तो दैट्स वेरी बैड. Okay, that 10 guilty person escape is good. It's better than one innocent suffer. Like in that 10, 9 are killers, but one is innocent. So all the 10 should be granted bail if you don't have a real or pure evidence. Okay, because no one wants an innocent person suffer due to everyone. भीड़ में रह के जरूरी नहीं है आप उस भीड़ के हिस्सा हो जाओ. ठीक है. You have the author just trying to say that this time the power become truth. Okay, so what's the topic? Like in what contest the author is saying this? So the captive mind, Shashlo Mazos, sharing anatomy of authoritarianism, tell a story drawn from an older Polish novel by Stanislaw again see with Kiev instability, Europe is about to be overrun by Sino-Mognonia army that dominates the Pacific or to the Baltic. Okay, so the army which dominate the Pacific to the Baltic. So the country facing invasion is unhappy and paralyzed. Suddenly, hawkers appeared peddling something called the Murti Bing. Well, those who take it become so happy that they do not even regard colonization as a tragedy for their civilization. They adapt cheerfully to their new rulers. Misol's book is catalogue of many Murti Bing wells by which citizen, but especially intellectuals, justified submission to power, ideological adjustment, self-deception, and fear. What this says? It says that the India realism represents itself as tough-minded and unsentiment. It claims the grasp the world as it is, and itself puncturing the illusion of moralist. So moralists are mere sloganeers winning away. Realism invoke prudence and responsibility, contrasting them with what it portrays as empty idealism. So, we told international relation to understand the nature of power. We must adapt to new imperial realities. Of course, bargain with US will asymmetry. You are dealing with more powerful actor. Okay, so Israel, as our PM recently did, is described as realism. To question such policies is to indulge in moral narcissism. It is manlier to accept the world power and adapt talk of justice damned. Okay, so this supposed the realism of authoritarian tendency at home, and citizens are told not to ask about their rights, about the power of work, and adapt accordingly. So, speaking out is naive, protesting is foolish, and pointing out that the emperor has no cloth is just irresponsible. So, the logic is identical. Power is truth. Take the Murti Bing well of realism, and you will slip soundly. As Miloj understood, the narcotic sustains both imperialism and authoritarianism. So India needs to aware about self-deception, and because the clock adaptation in the language of truth, any serious thinker know that moral aspiration collides with constraint, and as Max Weber, a realist of a different mold, reminded us political action require as an ethnic ethics of possibility but not mere purity of conviction. So they practice shuttler almizi, and we move from moral question, is this right? So the twist is that historical possibility quietly becomes whatever those in power declare feasible. What present itself as analysis becomes a council of submission. So what's inside it? The realism has no criteria independent of power's choice, and what it emerges as ability appeals of necessity, historical or geopolitical, which foreclose uh, political options. Moralists can indeed hide behind slogan, but at least they preserve the possibility that the world might be otherwise. All boundaries are first pushed in the imagination. The comfort of contemporary realism is to insist that adaptation to power is all there is doing so. So the realist forecloses the possibility of alternative political action. Often you open up new space and possibilities by trying out new form of political action. Okay, so if your philosophy of criticism is that you will stay silent in the face of massive power, you ought to forfeit even the right to criticize minions. And it realizes use of adaptation to power like Murthy Bingpil, passing of abdication as wisdom. No wonder we are more genuflecting the imperialism now than when we were weak and happier. Okay, so this kind of realism is seldom on side of the future. The another article is about the app gets a second chance and opportunity to renew itself. India Canada reset is vital in the time of Trump. Not much important, that's why I didn't read what Express Ada says. Where is the economy section? I'm not reading anything else. So this is the last slide, and the growth exceed first advance estimate of 7.4% released under old GDP series. You all know and you are aware of the news that the GDP of US is decreasing or decreased due to the inflation. I think the GDP is 3% to 4% of US. Okay, so that's the news of yesterday. That's why I said you. In new GDP series, economy estimated to grow 7.6% in fiscal year 26. Okay, so see, Chief Economic Advisor V. Anant Nageshwaran raises fiscal year 27 growth forecast to 7 to 7.4% after revised GDP series. Okay, so this is the revised GDP series by the CA, Chief Economic Advisor. Okay, car makers CAQM at larger heads on EV only debate for Delhi NCR. Market down in February as IT meltdown overshadow India US trade deal optimism. IT market which is overshadows in India US trade deal. Okay, so IT stock plunge about the stocks of Wipro and TCS. Okay, in the graph that is shown there. Goyal on India US trade deal situation is still evolving. We need to watch. India European Union Free Trade Agreement includes mediation mechanism. Paramount Bags, Warner Bros. What it means for consumer. So that's the end, and that's the end of today's session. Okay. So please like, share, and subscribe if you like the content. Okay. So thank you for watching.